If you're anything like me, you've probably been wondering to yourself, why does it seem like the government is going so hard against education? Wouldn't we want the best for our future offspring? Well, if you're as naive as I was thinking that people want the best for one another, then sorry, let me break it to you, right? But the government paying for your education, they have a obligation most of the time to lower that cost burden on you as as much as they reasonably should or reasonably can, right? Because a lot of times their hands are tied. But let's say you are in power and you get certain kickbacks and incentives for maybe moving those student loans towards the private sector where those interest rates aren't so limited by the government, right? They can balloon to whatever they want to. They can charge you 50%. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Just as long as it's in going your student loans are going into the private sector, that's money being had. That's money being made, right? So what's going to happen is you're going to have kids, and most of the time you're going to ask them, okay, we can't afford this. Go take out a FAFSA loan, and you're gonna get maybe um, X amount of dollars. Let's say $20,000 in this example. But instead of usually paying it back to the government, that usually is a pretty small amount, reasonably, right? And most of the time, that's what most people do. But what's going to happen is that that's going to be kept. So that's going to be a very low cap, and so the rest of the amount is going to be halved. You're going to have to take it out from banks, and banks love a captive customer because those student loans, they can't be forgiven even if you default. And so this creates a whole new incentive and profit structure to where as long as they have a loan out to you, right, then they can take out more and more money from that loan. That's how banks usually operate. That's how most institutions for credit work, right? They use your money as collateral to borrow against it. They make more money, yada yada. It compounds, and you're left as a bag holder. And if anything ever happens, you as a taxpayer, you're going to be the one out of luck because the banks are going to be bailed out. You're going to have to pay higher interest rates going forward. The economy screwed up, yada yada yada. It's a whole little process, right? So it all now with this understanding, it all makes sense why all these attacks on education are happening. Why you are only going to be able to get government loans on only specific degrees. It's all coming together, right? And you best bet those degrees are the ones where most poor people, they have to take out loans. They're going to have to take out loans in order to even meet the requirements to go to school. It's just going to get more expensive, right? Especially with more and more people going into trades and stuff, college, they need a way to keep that money going afloat, right? They can't just have decreases of revenue. That's just not how the economy works. And I think that's why capitalism can be so dangerous, is because you're always going to have to find a different scam, a different avenue of exploitation in order to keep that avenue of money going upwards. If it ever goes downwards, honestly, that's probably when the world is going to end or something catastrophic is happening, because in capitalism it's only ever rising, and that causes a lot of other um different problems to occur. But that's a video for a different topic. So if you have any ideas or any thoughts, just drop a comment down below. And this is just all wild to me. So definitely follow, and we'll definitely try to think up solutions or some sort of call to action.